All right, let's
I
talk
hadn't seen this
about
one in a
British
while.
gangsters pissing.
Yeah.
British gangsters having a hard time in Spain.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have a hard time saying cunt
No,
450
I think that's
times.
is that the next film or this film?
That's the
That's the
next
That's
film.
the next one.
And
yeah.
it's only 21 times.
right.
Oh,
is that the official count? Yeah.
According to IMDb.
Felt like 20,000 times, but we'll get to that later. Yes. But this film, I never heard of it before. I watched it and it was just completely enthralled. It just had.
I saw
just
it back in the
few-
90s, I guess, and
few
was
I saw this
impressed.
when it came out.
Yeah, a few
At the
characters.
plaza.
It is stuck on the main four characters, and was just a great exposition. It's just like if you're gonna put together a film that is just about just a microcosm of what.
I think I saw it because Stephen Frears, what's the one he did about
My Beautiful
the,
Laundrette.
he did that, but he also did one about the gay playwright in the 50s and 60s.
Mm,
Oh.
Sammy and Rosie get laid?
No.
Prick up your ears?
Somebody look it up.
I think it's Prick Up
Frears,
Your
Prick
Ears. Yeah.
Okay.
I know he did like 3 gay movies in a row.
Yeah.
He also did The Grifters and
Yeah.
shit. I
Oh,
mean, the
he
guy's
did
got
The
a pretty
Grifters.
decent track
High
record.
Fidelity, y'all.
High
I
Fidelity.
know, right?
Yeah,
He's got-
High
he-
Fidelity is a great movie.
He's got
Also,
a fucking
I think he
pile
did-
of BAFTAs.
Dangerous
No
Liaisons.
doubt. Dangerous Liaisons, yeah.
You know, I've never seen that movie.
Oh, it's good.
I've read the book.
Anyway, this is good.
Les Liaisons
It's a
Dangereux.
road picture.
It is a road picture, and that's the
It
best
is.
part. Thank God it's most of it, because it's the best part. I just
don't know, I
love
think-
the interplay between the characters once they get on the road.
I think maybe John Hurt is the best part.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I
John
just
Hurt
think that
is
Tim Roth
marvelous.
is just so fun and energetic.
I don't know, all
Listen to
3
like
of them,
2
it's such a
years ago.
great
Yeah, they're just like, it's
dynamic.
a great ensemble.
Alien.
All four
All
of them.
four of
them,
He's
yes.
really good too.
Yes, she's really good too. Exactly.
Roth.
something
Tim
This
Roth is-
fucking scene.
Oh God, that's great. Oh, that's
But
wonderful.
all right, so you guys tell me, because I'm watching this one going, is John Hurt cosplaying is his character cosplaying as a badass, or is he an actual badass?
No, I think
You
he
know,
wants to be a badass.
It's neither. He's just a
or
professional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's a professional who gets rattled, and that's
But
what a lot of this movie is about.
Yeah, I think
the
the
thing is, he
fact that
can't
you're
put the
asking
fear of
that
God
is a
into
good.
Terrence Stamp's character. He can't.
Right.
Yeah, and that just
And
throws
he
the
is
whole
a
game off.
total badass in the beginning when he wastes Harry. That is so scary.
Yeah.
Where Harry's just like waiting in the apartment, like he sits down next to him and he puts the game on, and he's just like
Yeah.
waiting
But
for
they
him
don't
to
even
do
show
it,
it.
and he
I
won't
think-
do it.
Yeah, and he just lights a cigarette. I think it's like, I think the fact that you're asking that is such a good aspect of this movie,
It's
and it's
the
really not
glasses.
until
It's
it's
the
really
way
not
he-
until the end when he finally fucking shoots both of them, and then
Spoiler
you're
alert.
like, well, yeah, spoiler alert, but you're like, okay, wait, this guy is ruthless. He
1984.
is a badass.
Yeah.
The guy behind Scott with the glasses and the cigarette, like the suit doesn't fit. The glasses kind of aren't working for the cigarette.
His character.
He looks like he's like an imposter almost.
It's like he
But
saw
who-
a picture in a book and like, okay, this is.
But it's also
gotta
a costume
cultivate.
Right.
because when he leaves at the end, he really does look quite different dressed
But
in
who
that
does
sort
he-
of
but-
I'm
but-
out.
yeah, we have to
hunting.
change.
Yeah.
But who
The
does he
backpack and
look
all
like?
that stuff.
Who does he look like in that scene? He looks like 2 different people. He looks like DB Cooper, and he looks like
Right.
Opie
Tom
Cunningham.
Cru- and he looks like Tom Cruise in Collateral. He is just
A little
He
bit.
just disappears into the
Yes.
background. He's got a light colored suit. He's got sunglasses. He's got the decently cropped but not too short hair. Like he just looks like a guy.
Yeah.
Like and in this world of doing stuff like that, just looking like a guy is super helpful because no one's going to remember you.
The 42 regular
Like-
effect again.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's
it's
like
only
just
because
normal
of her,
white
right?
guy,
The police
basically.
are ignoring him while he walks towards the border.
Yeah.
right.
It's
And it's
amazing
all-
to me how simple, that he basically establishes his badass credentials by never fucking saying anything in the beginning of the movie.
Right.
Everybody else is yammering on, and he just never says anything, and it just builds the tension
Yeah,
Because, you know,
especially
I was wondering what he was
Myron.
thinking. I know.
Yeah,
It's,
especially
Well,
Myron.
Myron
And-
is
and-
like nervous.
And
Yeah.
Willie, every time he says something,
Mhm.
he is really starting to draw out these little threads that are going to pull them apart.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
he's reaching
he's
in there and
undermining,
he's starting,
undermining.
he's starting to unstitch
Yeah.
their relationship from the bottom.
Yeah, he's
And
super
like,
smart.
and
Yeah.
that's why,
Yeah.
Braddock keeps telling him to shut the fuck up.
Right.
Is because he knows like these
Yes.
guys are two sides of the same coin.
Right.
Willie's the guy who got out.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
and
At
and I
beginning,
think
beginning of the career.
And it is an act
And
with
this
Willie
movie-
because at
this-
the end he like
He falls apart.
But I think that's
you can't shoot me.
But I
Yeah.
think that's the thing that rattles him is it's not her, it's not Myron.
Yeah.
What rattles him is that he has found someone who is his mirror image.
Mhm.
And like this is the part in the other movie where Don's talking to himself in the mirror, except the mirror's talking back
Right.
in this situation, and the mirror's saying, "This is what you could have if you walked away from this.
Mhm.
Right.
Like you could be me.
Right.
Like you could not care about any of this. You could speak Spanish. You could like fit in this culture that isn't the one that you're from if you just walk away."
Right.
And I think the reason he freaks out at the end is not so much you can't kill me, it's you can't kill me here.
Yeah.
Because if you
he
kill me,
he wants to meet what's his name.
Yeah.
right.
No,
When
in
also
front of Paris.
if you kill me here, you're not going to finish your journey to becoming me.
Mm.
I have a different interpretation of this.
That's a good interpretation, though. I like
It's good.
that.
It's good. I like that. It's good. But what I got from this is that they were casting this character as like a Christ figure, all dressed in white, talking.
Yeah,
sure.
You saw that picture on the wall of John Lennon in his pad. The guy's been reading books the entire time
Yeah.
he's in Spain.
He says so much.
Because of becoming wise, right? So
Yeah.
he is this kind of weird guru, enlightened figure of the first part of
Absolutely.
the film, where he just dispenses. He's not scared. He just accepts everything that's happening because he knows that, you know. The point though, the speech, the waterfall was amazing. You know, it's like
Yeah.
the death is just part of life. You just flow into it, nothing to be afraid of. But at the end, when he's on that hilltop and it gets drawn down on, it just shatters away.
And
I think
that's
that
why
he
I have a third
his
interpretation.
mortal
which
fear
is-
comes out and it's like, you're not supposed to shoot me. And just
I don't
it's
think-
almost like he's saying he was kidding the entire film.
Well, that's
Yeah,
and
right.
that's honestly that's what this viewing I was like, okay, I don't think Stamp is as smart as he thinks he is. He's
Yeah,
definitely-
that's part of
he's
it, yeah.
trying to do what Tad
it's like-
said, which is I'm going to pull on this because I'm going to try to figure out between now and the inevitable that an opportunity. to
Yes.
get out.
He's
Well,
working
it
he's
could
working the
be-
situation.
But
It
by
could be
the
that
end,
the-
when John Hurt goes, no, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
He realizes, oh fuck, I don't have any more time to get out of this.
Or leverage
Right,
or
yes.
anybody, right?
And that's when the panic kicks in. And
Yeah, I think he's telling himself a story about the kind of person he
I
is,
think
as
that's
much as
exactly
he's
what doing.
as much as he is that person.
Yes, John.
And maybe
yes, that's right.
maybe he's disappointed because I think part of him also thinks he was going to convince them somehow not to, or make them fight enough that they would split apart and it would be
Yes.
ruined. And he's
And
like,
Jared, that's the ending I was expecting, and I was disappointed when I didn't get it because we spent the whole road trip of him charming them and undermining them simultaneously. By the end, they both like him. And I thought it's like it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how he ultimately gets out of this. And then when they
But
just
he
took him to the
does-
hilltop and shot him, I was like, oh.
and it was
And
such
I was disappointed.
and it was such an anticlimactic killing. It was like he's
Yes.
running
Right.
away,
Oh, yeah.
one shot in the
Right,
back,
boom, he's dead. Exactly.
which
right.
I think
So-
is that's poetic.
As he's running
It's
away,
poetic.
wrapped in a
Wrapped in a
blanket.
shawl, which made him look
The
even
whole-
more like
the whole-
Jesus.
great.
Yeah.
The whole movie is a meditation on the utter pointlessness of violence.
Mhm.
Like violence doesn't mean anything in this movie. It doesn't get you any further to your goal. It doesn't change anything.
Right.
Like violence is a thing that occurs, and what do you get out of it?
And it's
You-
actually
violence
quite
is, violence is
actually-
done to you.
and it's actually quite ugly because there's so much violence between the woman and John Hurt that is so unpleasant, right?
Mhm.
It's almost like a love-hate thing with these two.
Yes.
They zero in on each other in some ways.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
she doesn't.
it's a
she
And
standoff.
hates
he
him.
and he spares her in an
No, isn't
earlier
that the weirdest
scene.
thing? I know,
Yeah.
right?
So
because
so there
he's
is
got
an
off on
attraction.
her because he got off on her biting his hand.
Right.
Well,
He did.
Yeah,
There's
there's some
that.
kind
I
of
agree with
mutual
that
attraction
theory.
or
I agree with
respect
that.
or something.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's
Because they
mutual.
lock eyes when she's biting.
Yeah,
think
it's not
it's-
mutual. It's on John Hurt, not on her.
Right.
telling you.
He's
she's
in
not.
love. He's in love with her. She hates him.
Yes,
Like,
and
that's
that's
the
precisely
love-hate-
why he likes her.
But just
Right.
no, this is mid-show, but god damn, I got so much out of this film. It was just there were just layers and layers
Do
of
we know?
great
Did the
fucking
writers,
shit in
the
this thing.
screen,
It was
the
well written. It
screenplay
was
is-
I don't know.
Who did
what
write
about
it?
you got to see these castles and
Something
mountaintops
Prince,
and
I
valleys
thought.
in Spain.
It's beautifully shot,
Oh my
Yeah.
god. It
Well,
was just,
being a very brown and tan movie.
but it's like
Well,
long
yeah.
long lenses and
it looks like
Yeah.
it looks like Southern California, but you
some
know,
of the best rear view mirror
Oh,
work I've
absolutely.
ever seen.
Oh no,
Uh-huh.
this one is so fucking great.
But he does that. It's a visual motif.
It
throughout
is,
the picture.
Both of these movies made me think of The Passenger too.
Yes.
Oh,
Tony.
absolutely.
This one,
That's same world almost.
Same landscapes,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
But it was just so good. I just fell in love with this film just watching
That's
the
great. And who hadn't seen it? Oh wow.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
This is I can't remember. I think this might have been the first time I ever saw Tim Roth in anything.
Well,
He looks like he's 15 years
it's-
old.
I know,
It's
right?
his
It's
first.
still
It
It's
is
his first.
definitely his debut.
It's his
got
first theater credit or his first.
Yeah, he
movie
won
credit.
an award for like best new actor or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
got
he'd
the
been in-
snaggletooth
he'd-
big time in this.
He'd been in
Yeah.
television. He'd been in television stuff before this.
Yeah.
This is his first theatrical release. So this was written by a British novelist who wrote several things that aren't very well known. But he wrote the BBC Oppenheimer miniseries that Anthony Hopkins was in.
Oh,
Interesting.
wow.
That's the other thing that he's kind of known for.
What's
but-
his name?
Peter Prince.
It is Prince then, I thought.
Yeah. The one thing I have two complaints about this movie that aren't like major. One is there's too much fucking flamenco guitar in this.
Yeah, a little bit too
There's
much.
A little bit.
just too much flamenco. Every
it could have
time
been more.
something-
So it could have been more
That's-
Clapton.
Yeah.
That's just the score.
Yeah,
That's the
oh my
score.
god! That dates this movie more than anything else in the movie.
80s
Music
That-
by
well,
Eric
you know,
Clapton.
You know that Eric
But
Clapton
it's
came
not
into this
music
Only-
by
movie.
Eric
only the
Clapton,
title
it's
music.
just the title
Title.
music, and it is
Yeah.
so 1980s.
I
Eric
know he just came
Clapton.
in the
It's so
studio in the
bad.
West End, played a bunch of notes, and
I would
They-
rather have the flamenco all
They
day
pushed
than
a
the
bunch
Eric
of
Clapton
cocaine
shit.
towards
exactly.
him.
That
He
was
said,
so sad.
Here's your payment.
Also, one of my
Um,
favorite scenes in this was also when I forgot his name, Terrence Stamp's character.
Willie.
Willie.
is talking
Willie
to
Parker.
Tim Roth's character, and it's like he got him with the blackjack, right? And there's a
Yeah.
British term for that. What that is? You remember that what it
The
is?
sap, he calls
Sap.
it.
No,
doesn't
it's something like that. He said, "Tell me about your sap," and he's like, tells a great story about how he made it when he was in grade school. And it was
Right.
Like,
He made
In
his
shop.
whole jacket is full of like stuff like
He's got razor
slingshots.
blades in
and-
his
Yeah, when he
lapel.
got razor
fights in that
blades.
bar, he's
Razor
got
blades
like
and
so
stuff.
much
It was-
shit.
I love that. It's like
I wouldn't call that a fight in the bar. It pretty much just assassinates all those guys.
I know.
I've
pretty
never
much.
seen anybody use like a bicycle chain for
Brass knuckles?
Yeah.
Yeah, it works, man.
Well,
Fairly.
brass knuckles are illegal to carry on you in Britain. Bicycle
And
chain
the
is
chains are not.
I
Yeah.
would have put
yeah.
chain brakes exactly.
not.
Also, it was speaking of bicycles, it's messed up that cop got run over at the beginning of the thing because they weren't
But
sure.
he's not dead.
I thought he
Oh,
died.
we don't know.
No, you
Oh
see
no,
him.
you see him later, I think.
It says he's
You
in the
see him
hospital.
later.
Yeah.
Okay, but I
Oh,
love that.
also,
they
Hol-
really wasted old Fernando Ray.
I was gonna
Oh,
say
he has no
homeboy from
lines,
the
right?
The discreet charm of the bourgeoisie is in here,
Yeah.
The
And
French
he's
Connection,
also
the
in
French
another one,
Connection.
right? This is
And French
his third
Connection.
one,
Connection.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is the other thing that I wanted to bring up about this is that somebody said, "Oh, it takes the four characters and it sticks with them the whole time."
Yeah,
it does
Does not.
Does
Yeah.
And
not, yeah.
And that is one of the biggest problems with this movie is every time they cut away to the cops like pseudo investigating one of the
Yeah.
crime scenes, it's like who the fuck cares? Like Just keep having it show up on the radio if you need
I
that.
appreciated it because
Yeah, it would have been just as good because
But I appreciate it because I think
It's
lesser movies would be like there was no consequences for that, and this movie was like, this is realistic. There's consequences. People are coming after you.
Oh yeah, and it puts pressure on the. There's like a ticking clock. They're always right behind them.
Clock. Thank you, John. The ticking clock.
Yeah, but they did that. They did the two great scenes with the radio. Terrence Stamp being able to understand what's being said on the radio, and they don't.
Yeah.
And they don't believe what he translates.
Yeah.
And then when they get to Bruno's apartment, Harry flips the newspaper
over.
Yeah, right.
so you don't see that it's the front page story. And like you could keep doing, like you could have them at
Do more of that.
you could have
More
it at
of
the
that.
gas
like 5 minutes
station.
off the film.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a worse movie, but it also
But-
it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
You could just have the attendant make the call at the gas station,
I
and
kinda
we
like it.
know.
It's like-
I want to see Fernando Rey anytime.
I've
think.
seen
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Films that do
he's
this.
so. But my problem is that he's so wasted in this because they don't
Yes.
really give him any real scenes.
No, he's not
He
a
just
character.
walks into frame,
Yeah.
looks at something, and then it cuts back to
He
them.
is wasted.
I actually
for sure.
personally,
Yeah.
think that was
Anybody else see-
I thought that was fairly genius. In fact, that the pursuing cops would always come, and you see the aftermath of whatever just happened, right? And
Right.
there were no subs. They would just
Yeah,
simply
it's the
Yeah.
yeah. They
you hear
just
them
talk
talking
about
in
some
Spanish.
things.
Jim, you know what it was?
what?
But most of the time, they didn't say anything.
It's Monty Python and the Holy Grail. when
Yes,
they start
or
following-
Right,
Repo Man.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Repo Man.
Yeah, but those have jokes in them.
Right.
Well, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
This is just
Well, this is
silence.
sort of
This
a
film
comedy.
had some funny bits in it. Come on.
It
does.
does, but
Partly
certainly
funny.
nothing with the cops. It's just
No.
it's just silence and flamenco.
Yeah.
Like
I'll give you
it's-
that. I know that thing at the gas station where he wasted that guy and put all the extra shots in there. I
Yeah.
thought the aftermath was interesting because it was like it just felt like it fell into a procedural at this point. It's like
Right.
these guys are trying to like figure out what's going on. They're getting closer and closer. So
Well,
we
I
knew-
guess he's trying to
kinda
make it
knew
look
that
like a
because they're
robbery.
doing that.
He's
right?
trying to make it look
'cause
like
he
a
takes-
shitty
he takes
robbery
the-
Yeah,
he
yeah.
takes the money out. He throws the money
instead of an
around.
execution.
That's set up the fact that he's not going to get across the border because they know what's going to happen. So they were already at the border up in the.
Well, one
And
thing
he
that
shoots-
I
he
guess
shoots
it's like
Myron in the eye.
one thing that
Yeah.
bugged me though.
Glasses explode.
At the end, what bugged me, I mean, I guess it's geographical, but I mean, he just happens to be walking by the window that they're
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
she's
little-
They're at the
they're
border.
giving her a blanket and fixing her face, and she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, there he is!" Like,
What
I was
a
like,
stroke
that's
of luck.
a little
Hey,
convenient.
sometimes it happens.
Also, Jared, after that, when they chase him into the gift shop and waste him, she's there again. It's like, what? You
Yeah.
ran after the
No, they-
cops
they-
to watch
they-
him die?
Which I don't
took
think.
her- they
Yeah,
took
she would
her
never
in.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
you're allowed.
How convenient?
But he had to wink
how-
at her. He winked at her.
Tad,
How
Tad.
convenient is it that they have a fucking Huey flying up the side of that hill to find her?
That's
like,
Well, you
we
know
have not
why?
seen them
Because
use a
they're in
helicopter
vast
at
Actually,
any
though,
point in this.
that shot was amazing because
Yeah.
instead
It
of
is
showing
amazing.
the copter, they showed the fucking shadow
Shadow.
of
Yeah.
the fucking helicopter.
That's right. It was the law.
But
kind of,
them,
the big shadow. Of the
I
law.
thought that was fucking
Now, mind you,
genius. I was like,
You're
No,
allowed-
I'm not
you're
saying that's a
allowed-
bad scene. I'm just saying if we're talking about
Little
shit that
convenient.
absolutely
Convenience,
did
yeah.
not happen, that is the thing that did not happen the most.
Yeah, you're allowed
Like,
one
well, it is a
unbelievable.
movie.
coincidence
I don't know. I mean, they
per film.
dispatched everybody. They're on a manhunt. They're looking for him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you're and
But
any
we don't
film-
hear any of that.
But I believe that more than her walking right past the place.
No,
him
no.
walking right past the place where she's
No,
looking
no,
out the
Jared,
window.
Jared, you're allowed one unbelievable coincidence per film. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like
Two we just
like
discussed.
in Pulp
We just-
Fiction,
yeah,
where the
this-
Scott, I'm going to disagree with you on that.
no,
Oh.
it's true. You're allowed one. You're allowed one.
I know, but you're
gotta go ahead
you're
and,
misusing that rule.
disagree with
That is a
you.
rule of
I'm not. There's only
screenwriting.
one unbelievable. There's only coincidence. There's only
It has
one.
No,
to
you
be the
shouldn't have.
coincidence that triggers the story, not a coincidence that helps you end the story because you need
And-
it.
Okay, John. There's
Whose
this film
funeral
called
is it
Pulp
behind,
Fiction where
Chris?
like Butch is
That was in the
actually
film.
this little Honda.
That was
and
at the end.
And then
Well, there's two.
Marcellus
There's one
Wallace.
No, that's just
crossed-
Yeah, there's
fucking
two.
At
funny.
the beginning,
No,
yeah.
it's an unbelievable coincidence.
It's
And
not
it
though
works.
because the guy ordered a
It's an
hit.
unbelievable coincidence, John. Jesus,
It is not. It is not.
What was
Oh,
believable
where-
about that?
where's the you're wrong,
Because
Scott?
because
No,
because
you're wrong, John. Thank you, Chris. Take care of this.
I don't.
The end of this
know. I'm
movie
just-
is
because he
just-
ordered the hit on Bruce Willis, so he was going up to check up on John Travolta's work, That's why he was on
Wait a
that
minute, I
block.
didn't see
No
John
way,
Travolta in
come
this
on.
movie.
Which movie are you guys talking about?
Now we're talking about Pulp
Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction.
Oh.
The Unbelievable
Hey, Pulp-
Coincidence.
Hey,
The Unbelievable
Pulp Fiction's a bad
Coincidence.
movie. Moving
Yeah.
on.
Oh, yeah, moving on.
What?
The end of this movie,
We're
put up
never
Tad
gonna.
is
This
wrong.
episode is never going to end.
the end of this movie is just Deus Ex Machina twice. Like,
So, but that's
it
a good
is-
question. Jim said, "Who are they walling up at the end? Is that him?
Yeah,
Who are they walling up? Whose grave?
yeah.
Is that
that's
John?
him.
Who paid for the priest?
Yeah, I was like, why would he be buried
Who
in
were they
Spain
burying?
with all the?
Actually, I have no idea.
Yeah, I didn't
Because
understand it either,
Because
Jared.
the Spanish were responsible for him.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
That's probably how they do it. They're like,
Yeah.
we
Oh, it's
killed someone
Willie.
on our soil.
I thought it
we'll-
was.
He had a police escort,
or maybe it's Willie. Is it Willie or John Hurt?
I think it's Willie because they're responsible
They're
for him.
responsible for him, and he gets killed on their watch.
Because he was like he was kind of a citizen, sort of.
Yeah.
Or it could be the cop too. Like who the fuck?
Or
knows?
the cop.
Like,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was my.
I like how they
first
just
thought.
did.
Or just some random Spaniard.
I like how
It
they
was
just did it with their
a stand.
hands, though. They're just doing the plaster or like with their
Yeah,
hands.
yeah.
They're just
Bare
like,
hands.
It doesn't have to be fancy. Just
I thought
make
it was
rough.
good.
Because you
It was a nice touch.
That's the great part. All right.
You know
well,
what else was a nice touch? That scene where he's looking in the rearview mirror, or John Hurt's looking in the rearview mirror at Maggie, right? And he stares at her, and then he says, "There's bird shit in your hair," and she goes like this, and that's how he finds out she speaks English.
Right.
I love
right.
that.
That's a good bit.
It's a classic bit.
No, it's good stuff. So, God, are we?
I'm glad you. I mean, it sounds like you guys mostly liked it.
Chris, do you have any?
I loved
I'll
it.
take it.
Any
Well,
concluding thoughts?
I'll
Chris?
say one thing, Chris, real quick, because I'd only seen it once, and I didn't like it as much the first time as I did this time. So thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it better after this conversation because I was bummed about the ending, but
Well, it is a bummer ending.
I think it's kind of a weird
Yeah.
poetic ending in a weird way,
yeah,
yeah.
it gives you something to
Well,
think
they're
about.
just trying to
like
get
sad
over with
poetry, you know.
Jim,
think
Jim, what'd you just say?
They're trying to get. They were trying to get over the it.
Just trying to get to the finish line.
all the philosophy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like,
I
okay,
don't
let's
think
have a
it's-
few.
The
chats.
philosophy all ended when he
John?
said, "Don't fucking shoot me." Boom. Is the
Well,
philosophy?
John, I
over at
think
that
the
point.
ending works because, like I said, this time I'm like, no, I think he's trying to convince himself that he's this fucking Yoda guy who doesn't care about dying.
He
Right.
could have been
The
James
whole thing
Bond.
collapse.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Back to Tad's point, which is violence is pointless.
Yeah.
I
But
kept
that's-
waiting
no,
for them
that's-
to have a
that's
vote
good
of no
too.
confidence.
But I love
They
the
do
ending
have a
because
vote of no confidence. They have a vote
Well-
of no confidence in the car.
I think the way that they sort of throw away his kill visually is actually super strong. Like
That's why I liked
I
it,
think
yeah.
I think lesser filmmaking would have made a big deal out of it, to be honest.
Right.
Yes.
And this is like he's just-
Anticlimactic.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like we said earlier, it's
It's
anticlimactic,
pathetic. He's got a blanket over his head and he's running away.
running away, and he gets shot in the back, and you
Say
just go,
no,
no, that
no.
can't be it.
No,
Right?
but that
That's
was
exactly
it. That
that's
was it.
exactly my reaction.
We
It's
were
like,
all
no.
let down by this because that's how life is.
And so
But
in
see,
turn,
Terrence-
I'm actually impressed. I'm like that. I like that.
Right. You're
You know,
right.
it's a good-
It's like
it's a good
throwing away
idea.
a line.
It's a weird thing to say, but you put a gun to Dalai Lama's head, he'd probably say, "Don't fucking shoot me, man. I got work to do."
Of course he would.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a human being.
I know.
I got
So
more
okay,
kids
let's
for
do that.
French.
For one thing, the Dalai Lama has his own militia, and
Yeah.
for another
True.
thing, going back to Scott's suggestion of him being a Christ-like figure, this is the Gospel of Mark. This is Father,
Yes.
take this cup away from me.
Right.
Like when you're in Gethsemane and the Romans are coming for you, you may have that moment of doubt, regardless of how serious you were up until that moment.
Right. Right.
But I still
And certainly, I mean, Terrence Stamp is just spellbinding as
Yes.
usual,
He is.
Yep.
as always. It seems.
Yep.
And so you are also taken in and charmed by him throughout this movie. I mean,
He's so charming. He's so handsome.
you're right. And
I don't know how
you
old he
want
is
to
here,
believe
but-
what you want to believe what he says.
I think he looks the best he's ever looked in this film.
He's
This
just
is the
right.
age
he's
that
pretty.
he-
He's pretty angelic in the one I picked.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
this
But
about the
for sure.
saints.
Yeah.
But Liz
But he was
is
younger in that one,
like,
right, Jim?
What did we cite?
Yeah,
a
he's
little
pretty
younger.
young in
4
that.
years after Kneel Before Zog.
Admiral.
Me.
It's only a couple of years.
to me,
It's
Jor-El?
only like 4 years later. That's
It's only
the
4
thing,
years
right?
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think though that I still think that he wants a disciple, and he's spends most of the movie trying to figure out which one of the two of them is going to be his disciple.
He gets
And
close
it's
And then it
obviously
turns out-
Myron.
No, and then it turns out it was her.
True.
Well,
Absolutely right.
But he almost got Myra.
That's a decent theory. Okay, we're going to cards.
I think he was just fucking with Myra.
Oh man, this film was
Oh, he's
amazing.
absolutely just fucking with Myron.
Oh, so good.
He knows
Glad
that
you like
John
it, Scott.
Oh, I love
he knows that John Hurt's gonna fucking kill him